Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stoney Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing back a feature that I haven't done for quite a few years, and that is 5-Minute Fridays, where I give you a gardening tip in 5 minutes or less. So in the spirit of that, let's get going. Make sure you get subscribed to my channel before we go. So today it is late June, and maybe like me, you have some holes in your garden, or maybe you just haven't gotten around to planting your garden yet. Are there still some crops that you can plant directly by seed in your garden, warm season crops that you can still dependably expect to have a harvest before the end of the season? And the answer is yes, there's actually 5. So let's talk about those. First on the list is one of our favorites, which is green beans. We love green beans. Unfortunately, they're also loved by one of our garden nemesises, which is earwigs. And every time I've planted this year, we've lost almost all of the plants to earwigs. We're really struggling with that, but never fear, it's not too late. With green beans, the pole beans actually will mature in about 75 to 90 days. And with bush beans, you can get them maturing in as little as 60 to 70 days. So we still have plenty of time. A late June planting like this will yield a crop for us in early to mid-September. So get some both pole beans and bush beans planted right away. One of our favorite varieties of bush beans is Royal Burgundy. We're going to be planting some of those this weekend. Next on the list is everybody's favorite or everybody's least favorite crop, and that is summer squash. So here we're talking about things like zucchini, yellow crookneck squash, and patapan squashes. There is still plenty of time to plant some of these fast maturing summer squash plants. You're going to start seeing flowers and mature fruit in as little as maybe 65 to 70 days on these crops, and so there's plenty of time. If you're really interested and you haven't bought seeds yet, you might want to consider trying some patapan squashes. These are a fun little UFO-shaped fruit that really do a great job, and your neighbors will thank you for that, or thank me at least, because they aren't as productive as zucchini. They put off a smaller plant, not quite as much bulk. Next on our list is cucumbers. So cucumbers, the beautiful thing about them is you can plant them fairly late in the season. They're going to start getting mature fruit on the plant in as little as maybe 65 to 70 days. And so now is a great time to fill in some of those holes in your garden by direct seeding cucumber plants in the garden. So again, you know, they're just going to do really well. They like the warm weather. Make sure you give them some support. They're going to need a trellis, a pole, something that you can tie them up on. But beyond that, they're pretty carefree, and you should be able to still get a really good harvest of cucumbers this late in the year. Next on the list might be a little bit surprising for you, but there are actually some melons that you can still be planting. Now, we have to be very specific in the types of melons that we plant this late in the year. We're looking here at icebox varieties. So our favorite icebox variety of watermelon is called Sugar Baby, and those will do really well. They mature in under 80 days, and so you should still be able to get a good harvest from those. And then you should also be able to get a good harvest from cantaloupe planted this late in the season. Most cantaloupe plants will mature in about 80 days. There are some varieties like Minnesota Midget, which is one of our favorites, that produces just little cantaloupes that mature in as little as 65 days. So there's plenty of time to put in some icebox varieties of melons as well. And then last on our list is sweet corn. There are surprisingly several varieties of sweet corn. I've found as many as 30 different varieties of sweet corn that mature in less than 80 days. Some as early as 65 days. So you still have time to plant some of those shorter maturing varieties of sweet corn. Just make sure that you check the maturity dates and that they're under 80 days, and you should still be able to plant in late June, and you'll get a good harvest sometime in mid-September is when those should be ready. Okay? All right, so that is the 5 crops that you can direct seed in the garden all warm season still this late in June. Make sure you get some of those planted today. We're going to actually be putting several in this weekend. So get those planted. Now, before we go, make sure you subscribe to my channel and go follow us over on Instagram. And I'd also love to have you go check out our year-round gardening mini course. This is a great little course that teaches you more about fall and winter gardening, and it is free. There's a link in the description of this video that you can go click on to check that out. All right, that's all I have for you for this week. I made it in under 5 minutes. We'll talk to you later. Happy gardening.